Hello again, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. And firstly, I want to say a big thank you to everybody that has subscribed to the channel. We've just surpassed 900. We are on the home straight to 1,000, the fabled 1,000. And once I reach 1,000, well, then I become a YouTube millionaire. I'm sure that's how it works. I can get myself a Lamborghini and then do a TikTok, and life is going to be good. But until we reach that figure, I suppose we best start looking at some more high-end eBay sales and see which people have been getting rinsed on buying football shirts and see if anybody was able to actually find a good deal. Now, with most international tournaments now finished, and of course most of the primary football leagues still, to coin an American phrase, in the off-season, it'll be interesting to see what football shirts people are looking to buy. Now, of course, I know what these are because I've done the research, and if anything, at least the top spot is a shirt that I would like to buy. It's quite nice. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump into the list and see what football shirts people have been buying. So, in 10th place, we have a Glasgow Rangers shirt. It is the third shirt from last season, 2020-2021, and this one is signed. Now, technically, it doesn't say that it's signed by any of the players in anywhere in the title or the description, so technically he could have signed it himself, and he's not really false advertising it, but I think one can only hope that it is the players. Now, in the description, it did mention that this shirt was being sold to raise funds for a cancer charity and that he was having a personal experience with this. So anything that's charitable usually ends up getting a little bit of boost in regards to the price. Now, this one was only able to garner one bid and ended up selling for £400. We're starting the list at 400. Now, I would like to say that this shirt actually reminds me of a Chelsea shirt that was once released. It was the same sort of colour scheme with the orange trims. Quite an underrated Chelsea shirt in my opinion. It's not often we do see orange on a Chelsea shirt. I can't remember if there has been one recently actually. That may have been the most recent version. So I quite like orange, so it'd be quite interesting to see if that appears again. So that was number 10. In 9th, we have another charity shirt. So this time it's advertised as the Euros 2020-21 signed England football shirt red, new with label sized large. Now technically this is the away shirt from 2018-2020, so more of the qualifying shirt, not quite the Euro shirt, but I think we'll let them off because it was sort of given to them, given to a sort of special needs school. Though the username of this sort of seller isn't the school, which usually is the case. And then when you go onto the website, which they provided in the description, there's no mention of this listing anywhere. And then you go onto their social media accounts, the Instagram, their Twitter, there's no mention of it there. So I was thinking, well, surely you're trying to promote this, because if you're using this to generate money to buy sports equipment, you're going to want to try and get as much as you can. Only I was able to find it on a Facebook page, which was not connected to anything, and it was sort of referenced there. So it is legit. I just feel like it was poorly advertised. And they ended up going with 22 bids, also for £400. So we are seemingly at the perfect mark for buying a football shirt that's signed is 400. Next we have England again. It seems to still be the Three Lions England hype that's still ongoing, even though we all totally failed in our challenge for the Euros. This one is England 1990 shirt medium, so one of the most famous England shirts that was released. And that was kind of it. The description was very basic. This time, though, you do get shorts and you do get some socks, adult socks. And he also, when I was scrolling through the list to figure out which was the top 10, there was another listing that sold for the same amount of money and used the exact same photograph, and it was the same person. So unless he had two lots, then that was a bit weird. The condition of the shirt looked actually pretty nice. And again, this one only had one bid and also sold for £400. So that's the sweet spot, it seems, today. Does that seem a little bit too much to you? Maybe, I don't know. I don't collect national team shirts, so let me know. Next, we have Manchester United Rare Umbro 97.99 goalkeeper shirt, size extra large. Of course, it's associated with that sort of glory day of Manchester United, 97-99, Premier Leagues, Champions Leagues. You can just see Peter Schmeichel wearing this shirt. And to be honest, the quality of the shirt was actually decent from the photographs. The description, the gentleman who was selling it was trying to hype it up like it was the best football shirt ever released, and that if you didn't bid in it, you were never going to see anything like this ever again. I think maybe that was a bit of an overreaction, considering it's a goalkeeper shirt, and I mean, I've only got a few myself, and it's certainly more niche than probably for most people. Though it did able to get 22 bids and sold for £401. So we're going up in the world, £1 more. Next, we have Manchester City with an away shirt from 1982-1984, so quite an older one. It's large, manufactured by Umbro, and it has the Saab sponsorship on the front. Very rare. Now, I'm not a Manchester City fan, and I don't really know about Manchester City shirts, but according to this gentleman selling this shirt, the sponsorship being on the front makes this shirt very hard to find because it wasn't commonly found. Now, I looked at the photographs, and again, these are actually really, really nice condition considering the age of it. And to be honest, the shirt design is not too bad. I do like a good pinstripe. And 27 other people thought it was pretty decent as well. And they pushed the bids all the way up to £410. So, you know, a bit more of an increase this time. Next, we have Aston Villa away, 1987 Hummel shirt, large. Men's Meta Vintage, original, not retro. And to be honest, I really like this shirt. Really like this shirt. I think it's the colours. Beautiful colours, the pinstripes, the little going down the front, the Hummel chevron. I think if I was to get some vintage shirts and I'd started collecting English teams, I would probably get one of these. But maybe at the price this one sold for, possibly not. This was seemingly coming from an Aston Villa fan who was going through his entire collection and selling it, and this, along with probably the home shirt from the same season, was one of the sort of the high-end Grail shirts, and you know, it's probably quite sad for him to let that go, but sometimes that's what you've got to do. And this one had 11 bids and sold for £410 also, so you know, we're not quite scaling the heights this week. Maybe that will change. Now then, I'm going to need your help on this one because I'm struggling. Especially, so if you're a Spurs fan or if you just like older football shirts, please let me know because this one was advertised as Umbro, Tottenham, Spurs, England match, question mark, vintage shirt, jersey, rare, football, maglia. You can probably tell that there's no season there. There's no years mentioned. And in the description again, there's no years mentioned, though it does tell you that they will ship from Poland to Europe, US, or Thailand randomly for some reason. And the reason why I need your help is because this shirt, I don't recognize this shirt. I don't remember ever seeing a Spurs shirt with the Umbro sponsor on the front. Quite clearly this shirt is meant to be the 91 to 94 away shirt because you can tell from the design along the shoulders and along the sleeves. But from what I can tell, that was only ever sponsored by Holsten. And looking at all the images I can find, not a single one was I able to see with Umbro on the front. Maybe it was extra specially rare and it was only used on one occasion, but I can't find any images. So if you're a Spurs fan and you know a little bit more about your own shirts, let us know because I don't know what this shirt really is or what it stands for. Anyway, 18 people seem to get, was that say 18? 18, definitely says 18, need some glasses. And ended up selling for £508.10, which I think is quite interesting considering your, I mean, maybe they know what it is, but possibly buying a shirt that really doesn't have any identity. Anyway, that's quite interesting. Now then, this one is also quite an interesting one. So it's Leeds United limited edition centenary shirt, still in its box. So, like a lot of teams, when it comes to a centenary or a special occasion, clubs like to release a sort of a, you know, I say a one-off, but it's a limited supply version of a shirt. And this is no different for Leeds. So, in 2019, it was their centenary. So, obviously, they were founded in 1919. So, they released 1919 or 1,919 of these shirts. And as you can imagine, they sold out quite quickly. Now, initially, they were retailing at £149. Which is, you know, that's quite a lot of money, and some fans were kind of frustrated at that because, you know, that's a lot of money for a lot of people. And when I was doing my research, I came across an article which said that someone had bought one of these shirts and immediately put it on eBay just to resell it, you know, because that's what people do. And apparently, according to this article, it ended up selling for, I think, if I remember correctly, £65,000 on auction. Really? £65,000? No, surely not. And then at the bottom of the article it says there were also shirts like the same ones selling for 8,000, 7,000, 5,000. I mean, okay. So you've seen those values. This shirt can sell for 65,000. It can sell for 8,000. It can sell for 5,000. This one ended up selling for £540. Ooh. Now, if you could have got £65,000 for this, or even just £5,000 for it, that is a bit of a kick in the teeth. I always seem to say that if you hold on to, the longer you hold on to your shirts, the bigger and the better the chance that the value will increase, because that's generally the trend. But sometimes, apparently, if you don't sell it immediately, you're going to miss out on £65,000. Yeah, so I think that's for him to deal with, I suppose. Kind of weird. And now we have another England shirt, because we're still hyped. So it's England Senior Squad signed 2020-21 football shirt with the certificate to prove it's all legit, because you can't fake those. So it's the home shirt, and it has quite a number of signatures. I think they said it had all the main players: Kane, Maguire, Grealish, Mason Mount. And it has the certificate of authentication. It looks legit to me. I can't prove otherwise. And in all the hype, 17 people decided to bid up to £910. I feel like that's a lot of money for a signed shirt. I mean, they got to the final, so yes, that means something. But if they'd have won it, maybe. But seems like a little bit too much. But I don't collect English or signed shirts, so what do I know? But finally, in number one, of course, in first place, is a Chelsea shirt. Away from 87 to 89, like the turquoise one. Match one, Umbro, medium, long sleeves. And to be honest, the condition of the shirt is not great. I think someone's chewed away the inside of the collar. It looks pretty bad condition. But, I mean, it is quite an old shirt, and if it has been worn in a match, and I'm sure the owner of it, or owners, because I'm sure it's probably been passed through 20 or so hands, you know, they would have worn it. And it is a classic one. To be honest, you don't see many Chelsea shirts for sale. That's sort of pre-1990. So when they do appear, you can imagine that the price is quite high. And this one ended up getting 17 bids and sold for £1,420, bang on. And the winning bid was me. Here it is. No, it's not me. It's not me. I don't think I would have paid that much money for that shirt. I don't know if I could really have a shirt in that much of a poor condition. As you can imagine, most of the shirts I have are mint and brand new, and obviously the Chelsea ones over there I do wear, but I still keep them in pretty decent nick. But I suppose if I start buying the older shirts, I should expect to have to compromise in condition. But anyway, what do you think about that? As a Chelsea fan, yeah, it's a lot of money, but it's an older shirt, so yeah, they don't pop up too often. But anyway, that is the top 10 for this week. Not as crazy as some of the weeks, but I think as the seasons slowly start to commence in maybe sort of a month's time, maybe people will start buying football shirts once again. Anyway, let me know which is your favourite shirt from this list. Did you buy any of these shirts, and did anybody get absolutely ripped off? And please help me out with that Spurs shirt, because I don't actually know what it is, and I don't like not knowing things. Anyway, as always, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.